Thank you, President. It seems quite a calm conclusion, really, to such a tempestuous debate. I think it's some 7 years since REACH was first announced to ministers at the Environment Council. And think then of all the impact assessments and the wild figures about how much REACH was going to cost, and the threats that this would lead to the European chemical industry disappearing from the shores of this continent and relocating in China. And of course, within this chamber, all sorts of parliamentary tactics to delay and destroy REACH over the years. And here we are with a remarkable measure of agreement all round. I think that perhaps in practice we've made some modifications and we're on the right track. Now, I have high hopes for REACH. I hope it will enable us to identify and control and replace chemicals that are detrimental to our health and our environment. I hope it will be implemented without excessive difficulty, particularly for SMEs, but by manufacturers at a cost that will not threaten the competitiveness of our industry. I hope it will stimulate the validation and development of alternative non-animal testing methods. I hope it will promote innovation within the industry and give Europe a cutting edge in the world. I hope it will not lead to a transfer of jobs, but instead will increase consumers' confidence here in Europe and across the world in the chemicals our industry produces. I hope that enough scientists will want to brave the dark winters of Finland in order to make sure the European Chemicals Agency is the success we hope it will prove. I hope this is going to set a lead for the entire world, a regulatory regime which will be a hallmark, followed by governments elsewhere. And I hope the package we have agreed between us, with very much the assistance of the Finnish presidency over recent months, and of course guided by Guido Sacconi, will provide a firm steer towards the substitution of chemicals of high concern by safer alternatives and promote the development of such alternatives. Now, I hope all these things, but whether my hopes are going to be realised, well, I think there's a lot of water under the bridge still to flow before that's for certain. There's a lot of imponderables. How will the European Chemicals Agency really interpret its remit? How will it come up with the definitions of REACH in practice? I think only time will tell. I'm not ecstatic about the result. I've accepted compromises that I would prefer to have avoided. I would have preferred stronger emphasis on substitution. I think it's a terrible mistake that right at the end of the negotiations, the Council actually offered us the chance to incorporate hormone disruptors, endocrine disruptors, within the socio-economic categories, the substitution categories. And we as a Parliament actually said, no, we'll settle for a review in 6 years' time. That's an astonishing one. But I don't agree with one spokesman for WWF, who just recently denounced the final outcome of REACH as a disgrace. Well, on the contrary, I think it's very much a positive step in the right direction. And if our hopes are realised, it may prove to be one of the most significant measures this Union has ever taken, of real long-term advantage both to our economy and to our environment.